Kunja Bihari, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Dhanvat Pranams to all of you. Welcome all of you to this class. Let us begin today's class. Hare Krishna. So we'll start with a quick recap. Sharing my screen here. We'll start with prayers first. So Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki jai, Nitai Chaitanya ki jai, Parshuram Bhagwan ki jai, Vamandev ki jai. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyat Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This session is dedicated to His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. We are inspired by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, Spiritual Master and GBC. Let us begin with a quick introduction and a recap of the chapter number 15. We are doing the chapter number 15 called the Purushottama Yoga, the Yoga of the Supreme Person. So we started with this inverted tree, am I right? So inverted tree. So we spoke about the inverted tree and how this material world is actually inverted tree of the spiritual world. So the spiritual world is completely free from modes of material nature, whereas material world is mixed with that. All right. And then we saw that what are the leaves? Vedic hymns. Chandamsi yasya parnani. Correct? And the roots are bound to the fruitive activities. The fruits are dharmartha kama moksha. And the twigs are the objects. Sense objects are the twigs. And then these branches are nourished by the three modes of material nature. So as long as there is three modes of material nature, Maya, this tree is very strong. So it's a symbolic tree, which we have to cut it with detachment. So the more you water this tree, it's not good. Okay, this is not good tree. So we have to cut this tree, right, with the help of detachment. All right. And we have to cut down this tree with the weapon of detachment. And how do we detach from the material world? By attaching to Krishna. If you attach to Krishna, detachment naturally happens. That's the secret. Detachment from material world results in attachment to spiritual world. Or rather, if you have attachment to spiritual world, you'll be naturally detached from material world. That's called param drishtva nivartate. Just like if you get a higher taste, you leave the lower taste. If you get something bigger, better goal, you leave the lower goals. And then finding out the source, we have to find out who is the source, right? The source is Lord Brahma, right? The source of, you see, I'm here, my father, my grandfather, my great-grandfather, like that, if I just go trace it back, it goes to Brahma. And Brahma is coming from Garbhodaka Shai Vishnu. And when we come to Lord Vishnu, that is the end of research work. Lord Vishnu says that when you come towards me, that is the end. You don't need to search further because that's the end. That's full knowledge, complete knowledge. Okay. All we have to understand is that we are in a false reflection of the actual spiritual world. And there's a story where Lord Brahma comes to meet Krishna, but then he's bewildered because there are many more Brahmas who come to meet him. And then he gets surprised that he thinks that he's the only Brahma, but then there are many, many more Brahmas. And now Krishna is saying here in this verse that we are all part and parcel of Krishna. Mamai vamsho jiva loke jiva bhuta sanatanaha. We are eternal parts of Krishna. We are eternally fragmental parts of Krishna. But we are Anu, Krishna is Vibhu. In quantity, we are different. Quality, we are the same. And we saw this, that how transmigration of the soul happens. So the living entity is carrying the conceptions of life. The example given here is just like that of air carrying aroma. There is an aroma in the room, the air is carrying that aroma. Similarly, the soul carries that conceptions of life. And according to the conceptions that we have, the conceptions that we desire, we get a body based on that. You see, there are many kinds of species of life, 84 lakh species of life, out of which it is said 9 lakhs of species are aquatics, and 20 lakh species are trees, right? And 11 lakhs are insects. Like that, there is a division which is given, okay? And it is said that 4 lakh species of life are human beings. So like that, how is the difference? What is the difference between these all species of life is a different type of senses. You see, we have different kinds of ears, and there are some animals which have much stronger ears, right? For example, if there is an earthquake, the animals start crying, okay, because they start hearing something which we cannot hear, isn't it? Similarly, eyes also, there are some animals like eagle which have powerful eyesight. So all the animals have more or less these 5 senses only. There is no 6th or 7th sense. There are only 5: eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and touch. 5 senses, corresponding sense objects. Only variation is what is the perception. I mean, how you can perceive each of these sounds. So, for example, there are some animals which can hear even ultraviolet sounds, right? We may not be able to hear, right? So it's like that. Just give me a minute. అలా అమ్మ క్లాస్లో ఉన్నా 7 తర్వాత చేస్తా, 7:30కి చేస్తాను కాదు అమ్మా. క్లాస్లో ఉన్నాను, క్లాస్లో కూర్చొని. అయితే నందని పంపించు. అయితే ఒక 7:30 క్లాస్లో ఉన్నా, క్లాస్ మధ్యలో ఉన్నా. ఏం చేయమంటారు? హరే కృష్ణ. సారీ. Yeah. So I was saying that there are different kinds of species of life here, like which have different kinds of nose, tongue, and all of that, right? Some animals have different kinds of tongue, right? Different kind of taste also, right? So all that is possible with different kinds of animal species, right? So we get it based on the conception. So the living entity, based on our consciousness, we are getting a body. See, there's a picture here, right? So it's all about the consciousness. I hope you're able to hear me. So it's all about consciousness. Okay. Okay. So now, I think we stopped till there, right? We are continuing from here. Okay. This is interesting. యదాదిత్య గతం తేజో జగద్భాసయతేఖిలం యచ్చంద్రమసి యచ్చాగ్నౌ తత్తేజో విద్ధి మామకం గామావిశ్య చ భూతాని ధారయాం యహమోజస పుష్ణామి చౌషధి సర్వాః సోమో భూత్వా రసాత్మకః. So you see the sun, the nature is very powerful, isn't it? So there are so many wonderful natural phenomena around us we can see. Just take the sun and the moon. The kind of light that you get from sun, we can't get it from any other source. It's so powerful, right? So Krishna is saying, I am the splendor of the sun. He says that in Bhagavad Gita. So in other words, the sun derives the light from Krishna. And the splendor of the moon is also me. And the splendor of fire also is me. So what that means is the fire cannot work without Krishna's energy. So it is Krishna's energy which makes the fire work. Correct? So, and then he's saying, by my energy, they stay in the orbit. Ushnami chaushadi sarva, sorry, yachandramasi yachagno tattejo vidhi mamakam. Yeah, gama vishyacha bhutani dharayami aham ojasa. That means all the orbits are staying in their place because of Krishna's energy. Right? So it's just like, let me just show you something. I'll share something and I'll just explain to you what it means. Yeah. Are you able to see my screen? Yeah. So here is the sun, right? And we have different kinds of planets, right? Which are having different orbits, right? Okay. So now, without Krishna's energy, all these planets will not be in their place. So they will just fall apart. So whatever we call the gravitational energy, what is that gravitational energy? Or the natural phenomenon, the energy which keeps all the planets in their place is Krishna. Krishna is saying, because of my energy, everything stay in their place. Right? So let us just continue with ours. Yeah, and another interesting thing here is that as per our Vedic science, as per the Vedic knowledge, the juice of the life of all vegetables comes from the moon. Somo bhutva rasatmakaha. So the vegetables derive that juice from the moon. Okay. So Krishna is saying it's my energy. Now something very interesting. Anybody wants to read this sloka? It's very, very nice and important.
Prabhuji, can I read?
Yes, please.
Bhagavad Gita 15.14. Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutva Praninam Deham Ashritah Pranapana Samyukta Pachamya Annam Chaturvidham. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I am the fire of digestion in the bodies of all living entities, and I join with the air of life, outgoing and incoming, to digest the four kinds of foodstuff. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Krishna is the digestive fire within the stomach. So without the digestive fire, we'll not be able to live. Am I right? So digestive fire is very important. So Krishna is the digestive fire. Vaishvanara. It's called Vaishvanara Agni. Vaishvanara Agni. Jataragni. Krishna is saying, I am the Jataragni. And it says that I join with the air of life, outdoor and incoming, to digest the four kinds of foodstuff. Okay, there are four kinds of foodstuffs. Can anybody tell me what they are?
Rajas, Tamas, no.
No. Foodstuff.
Food which can be chewed, which can be sucked, which can be drunk.
Yeah, and then licked. Right? Chewed, sucked, and
drunk and
licked.
Licked.
Four types of food as per Ayurveda Rasa Shastra. So all this kind of four type of food get digested because of Krishna's energy. And one thing we have to very important to understand here is that we should not think that this is some kind of impersonal energy. No, it's not just energy here. Okay, Krishna is speaking about. He's saying the name of the chapter itself is Purushottama Yoga. Okay, Purusha means it's a person. So it's actually a person. It's a spiritual person. Eko bahunam vidadhati kama. So some people get a doubt. What is the meaning of aham inside this Bhagavad Gita? So what does aham mean? So actually it is said in various Upanishads and various Shastras that whatever that said aham, right? So that aham is actually meaning referring to the Supreme Lord. Okay, I'll just show you something very interesting. So it says, Neha nanasti kimchana mrityo samrutyum apnoti ya iha naneva pashyati. That means Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, which says within the Supreme Lord, there is no difference whatsoever. One who simply perceives the difference simply attains death after death in this world. Let me just present this. Give me a minute. Yeah. So there are some references that I wanted to present to you that because there are some scholars who try to say that here aham, when Krishna says aham, it's not really Krishna, but it is something else. So one simple logic is that this there is no difference between Krishna and Krishna's soul or Krishna's body. There's nothing like, see, for us, we have the soul and the body. But for Krishna, it doesn't, it is not like that. That Krishna has a separate soul and Krishna has a separate body or something like that. Okay. So that's very important. So let me just share my screen now. You can see here. Okay, let's see this. Yeah. We'll see some. Yeah. Yad atmako bhagavams tad atmaka vyakti. That means the Supreme Personality of Godhead consists of the same person as his self. Okay, it is not that he's different. His body is constituted of something else. No, it's not like that. He's same. He's self-same. He's absolute. Let's see one more. It says Yad Atmako Bhag. Sorry. Yeah, this is better. Yad Atmako Bhagavams Tad Atmika Vyakti. The Supreme Personality consists of the selves. We did this. Deha Dehi Vibhedascha Napare Vidyate Kvachit. Mahasamhita. There is no difference between the body of and the soul of Supreme Lord. See, we have got a soul. We are saying I'm not the material body and I've got a soul and there is a super soul. Krishna does not have a super soul, nor does he have a soul. There's no difference between his body and his soul. And let's see, Kurma Purana. Deha dehi vibhedoyam neshvara vidyate kvachit. There is no difference between body and soul in the Supreme Personality of God, Kurma Purana. Dehi deha bidachatra neshvare vidyate kvachit. Again, Mahavaraha Purana. There is no difference between body and soul of the Supreme Personality of God. So it's very clear. All the Vedic scriptures are saying the same thing, that Krishna and his soul are the same. There's no difference. You should not think that, okay, there's somebody like Krishna or something like that, or Krishna, and then there is a separate person or there's something within him which is actually doing this digestion of the food is because of that impersonal thing which is there within Krishna. There is nothing like that. Krishna says, Matta paradaram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya. There's nothing beyond Krishna. It's actually from Krishna, the impersonal Brahman is coming. Brahmano hi pratishtaham amrutasya avyayasya cha. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that even the impersonal Brahman is upon him. Everything is based upon him. So very important point is that we have to understand this, that God is very much personal, but he's not like a person like you and me. That's what we have to understand. He is definitely a person, but not like a person like you and me. When I say that, so we are conditioned living entities. We have got a body. We have got a body that keeps changing. Am I right? But Krishna's body does not change. It is eternally the same. Our bodies keep changing. Our bodies undergo 6 transformations, right? Birth, growth, staying at the same, and offspring, decay, death. This does not happen with the body of the Supreme Personality of God. So this is very important.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Sorry for interruption,
No
but I have a query here.
Yes.
Prabhuji, here Krishna says in this verse that he is the digestive fire in every human beings, right? So
Yes.
the fire, the hunger, what we feel is we think that it is Krishna and we have it. I just wanted to tell you from my personal experiences, my own cousin sister, Okay, for her gallbladder stone was there, and she's removed, and she has lost the digestive fire in her, and the digestion has come down, Prabhuji. So she's suffering actually. So when Krishna says he's the digestive fire in every living entity, we should tell that it is Krishna who is giving punishment to her, or we should think that it is because of her past karma she's suffering, or how to take this, Prabhuji. She was leading a very normal life, but now due to health issues, that is gallbladder stone removal, she is suffering. How to take this, and how is it that, Prabhuji?
Yeah, it's because of past karma. Krishna does not involve directly in anybody's life, actually. It's all because of the past karma, our desires and our actions. Just like in Bhagavad Gita also, it says that the cause for the suffering of the living entity is ourselves. It's not Krishna. And Krishna has given us instructions, but we keep violating, therefore we suffer. It's like that. Right? It's just like, we have got a government which says that these are the rules. If you follow these rules, you can stay happily and do whatever you want. But if you start violating the rules, the police department will enter, right? And they will not let us to do what we want to do. Okay.
So, Prabhuji, whatever suffering we're experiencing, it is because of our past karma only. We should take it like that only and suffer, or how?
Yes, everything is because of past karma, except for the pure devotees. Whatever we are suffering is completely because of past karma.
Prabhuji, and I just have one more query. Sorry, but I don't know it is offense to ask this or not. I don't know. Our Guru Maharaj is also highly suffering, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Is it because of his past karma? Is it?
It's because of the karma of the devout disciples. He keeps saying that a lot of times. That what happens when you become a spiritual master is that you have to accept the karma of all the disciples. And when the disciples do not follow the rules and regulations, the spiritual master has to suffer. They have to take the karma. That's the reason why the suffering is there.
Prabhuji, in that case, if, for example, I'm doing a lot of offense while doing chanting and all that, will it affect Guru Maharaj in that way?
Yes, in case
If I'm under, if I have
if
taken
you're initiated,
shelter
yes.
under him.
If you have taken initiation or shelter, yes. If you have taken initiation, for sure, it will affect Guru Maharaj. If you're doing offenses, yes.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes. Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Okay.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Sorry to
yes,
interrupt.
yes. No problem. Go ahead, ask.
If we take shelter also, it will affect the Guru Maharaj.
If you take shelter also, it actually affects Guru Maharaj. Shelter also is more or less like initiation only. Shelter is very much close to initiation. Those who take shelter and who do not follow the vows, they also are causing suffering for the Guru.
Prabhuji, will we also suffer, Prabhuji? Like if we're not, like we have taken oath, for example, I follow so and so rules and regulations, but I'm not abiding by that, and will it suffer? We also will suffer, and also how is it, Prabhuji? Please tell.
Naturally, because see, it's an opportunity, right? It's an opportunity. So getting a guru is very rare. It's not possible for everybody to get a guru, right? For a bona fide spiritual master is very, very rare. But then if we do not follow the vows, it's our loss. Then we will not be able to go back to God. What can be more suffering than that? That is only infinitely suffering. No, there's no need of separate suffering, some specific suffering.
Hare Krishna,
Right?
Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, just confused. What is the difference between shelter and initiation, Prabhuji?
Yeah, Guru Ashraya is a before initiation. One step before initiation is called Guru Ashraya. After Ashraya, after 1 year after Guru Ashraya, the Guru gives initiation. That is called one step before initiation is called Guru Ashraya or the shelter. Okay, at that time, the formal initiation would not have taken place. Formal initiation happens only at the time of Diksha. But before that, for 1 year, like the Guru gives shelter. And the disciple is given an opportunity to properly follow all the rules and regulations, and is monitored. The disciple is monitored through the disciples of the Guru, and the Guru will take a decision whether to give the initiation or not based on the how strictly the person is following the rules, vows.
Thank you,
And
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
and Prabhuji, if we take O for one round, and if we sometimes it is not possible for us, it also affects Guru Maharaj.
No, it does not. It won't.
Okay, sir. If
Only
it
for,
is a
those,
16
only
round,
for those who take shelter and those who have taken initiation, not others. Okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. Okay, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Then, Hare Krishna. So let's go to the next verse, 15.15. This is one of the most often quoted verses of Bhagavad Gita, 15.15. Who wants to read this?
Shall I read,
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji?
Okay, okay, we'll give a chance to Chandar Prabhu and then I'll give you a chance, Manisha Mataji and Renuka Mataji, okay?
Okay.
Chandar
Okay.
Prabhu, okay, read the shloka and translation.
15. That is 15, 1-5.
Yes.
Sarvasya chaham.
Yes.
Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishta matta smridir jnanamapoham cha vedaischa sarvairekameva vedyo vedanta krida veda videva chaham. Translation: I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. For all the Vedas, I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So, very beautiful verse. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto. Matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha vedaischa sarvair ahameva vedyo. Vedanta krit veda vid eva chaham. So Krishna is seated in everyone's heart. That's the first point. Sarvasya chaham hridi sannivishto. In every living entity's heart, Krishna is present. And from Krishna comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. So the remembrance for us has come today that we have to remember Krishna. Am I right? But if Krishna wants, he can push us into various animal species and we will never be able to remember Krishna for many, many lifetimes. So if we are able to get remembrance of Krishna, that is also because of Krishna. If we get forgetfulness of Krishna, just like some people who don't believe in God or who have no opportunity to remember God, that is also because of Krishna only, the super soul, because it is like a impartial punishment. It's our desire. Since we desire not to remember Krishna, Krishna will give us that kind of a position where we cannot remember him, even if we want. Right? Why is that so? Why does somebody living, why do any living entity want to forget Krishna? Anybody can say? Why do we want to forget Krishna?
We want to
Uh,
enjoy material life.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Past karmas can, what to tell, forgot the Krishna's memories.
Okay, that's fine. But the perfect point here is that because we want to enjoy. See, because the moment we remember Krishna, we cannot enjoy the material world anymore. That's why Krishna consciousness is called Vairagya Vidya. The more you remember Krishna, the more the material life will be finished automatically. Automatically. It's a good thing. Okay, nothing to be scared about. Automatically, it will get finished. It is not possible for us to actually enjoy the material world, but we will get the spiritual pleasure. We get a different kind of a higher taste we will get. Once we start remembering Krishna, higher taste we get. So that's why people voluntarily forget Krishna. They want to forget Krishna so that they can enjoy the material pleasure. But again, they fail to realize that it is actually a dangerous choice. You see? That's why the Vedas, they say rope and the snake example. You see? The snake is poisonous and the rope is a useful thing. Rope can be utilized for drawing water, right? You can put a bucket to it and, draw water from that. It's useful. Rope is very useful for doing a lot of activities. But snake is not a useful thing. Snake will bite. But if a person thinks because of there is no light, a little bit darkness, and there is no candle, there is something like a rope fallen below. If you mistake rope to be a snake and snake to be a rope, then the problem starts, right? So for example, there is a snake fallen below. Because there's a little bit of darkness there, it's not very clear, light is not there, or our vision is not very clear. Then we pick up a snake and we think, oh, here is a rope. Okay, let me tie something with this rope and do some activity. This is the same thing as trying to forget Krishna and trying to enjoy material world. We try to enjoy the material world, we are playing with a snake, poisonous snake, which can bite. It's a very dangerous thing, right? That's what happens. So those people who forget Krishna, they suffer. And confusing a rope to be a snake, because there's no light, we think oh, this is a snake, and we run away from it. A lot of people actually, they get scared when about Krishna consciousness and Bhagavad Gita, all of them, they get very scared because they think it's a snake. I mean, even everybody, they're trained, they're told like that in the family. Everybody will tell, like, be very careful about this whole thing of Krishna consciousness. Don't remember about all this religion and all. Don't do too much. It is very dangerous. So they think that it is a snake. It's not a snake, it's a rope. So it's like nectar versus poison. So we should not confuse poison and nectar. This is a necessary thing. This is okay. So by all the Vedas, I am to be known. Veda is just survived. Aham eva vedyo. All the Vedas are pointing to one thing. There's a one shloka. It says, Anadir bahirmukhe jiva Krishna bhuli gela. That means the living entities have forgotten Krishna. And Vyasadeva, out of extreme compassion, of great compassion, he has written the Vedas to remind us of Krishna. So all the Vedas, all the Upanishads, all the Puranas, Ramayana, Mahabharata, everything is there to remind us of Krishna. Sometimes directly, sometimes indirectly. Okay, through Karma Kanda or through Jnana Kanda or through Upasana Kanda or through Bhakti. Ultimately, the purpose is to come to the stage of Bhakti Yoga, to surrender to Krishna. That is the final thing. So that is the whole purpose of Vedas, right? That is, Veda is to survive Aham eva vedyo. Very important line. We should remember this. What is the purpose of the Vedas? To know Krishna. Vedanta Krit. Vedanta has been written by Krishna. Vyasadeva is the author of Vedanta Sutras, right? And I am the knower of the Vedas. I mean, who understands the purpose of the Vedas? Only Krishna understands, and Krishna's bona fide representatives, only they understand the deep meaning of all these Vedas. Otherwise, these Vedas are very confusing. It is not easy. There are 6 darshanas within Veda, 6 Shat Darshan. 6 darshanas are there, right? Nyaya, Mimamsa, and Vedanta, like that. And only Krishna knows what is the full final purpose of this Vedas. The final purpose is to know about Krishna, and the ultimate purpose of the Vedas is this. And Krishna understands the Vedas, and nobody understands Vedas like Krishna understands. He is the most knowledgeable person. And I am the knower of the Vedas. Yes. And now comes the important point. Krishna is transcendental to the fallible and infallible souls. There is a classification. I'll tell you what this is. First, let us read the shloka. Somebody want to read? Manisha Mataji wanted to read?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, please go ahead.
BG 15.18. Yasmaksharamatitoham aksharaadapi chottamah atosmi loke vede cha prathitah purushottamah. Translation by Sri Prabhupada ki jai. Because I am transcendental beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and because I am the greatest, I am celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as that supreme person. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah. So let us discuss this. There are 2 types of living entities, Kshara and Akshara. Right? Kshara and Akshara. Let us see what it is. So we're talking about two type of living entities, right? So here it is called, it's called as conditioned. Conditioned living entities. There is another category, which is liberated. So this is called Kshara, this is Akshara. This is called as Nitya Baddha, this is called Nitya Siddha. Two type of living entities are there. The conditioned living entities and the liberated living entities. The conditioned living entities are staying in the right, and the liberated living entities stay in the spiritual one. Now, Krishna is saying, I am beyond this two. Yasmat ksharam atitoham. I am beyond the conditioned liberated entities. Yasmat ksharam, sorry, conditioned living entities. I am better than them. Aksharadapicha uttama. Krishna is beyond the conditioned living entities and the liberated living entities. He is beyond them. Atecha lokecha vedecha pratitaha purushottamaha. Atosmi lokecha vedecha pratita purushottama means I am celebrated in both this world and in the Vedas as that supreme person, Purushottama. The supreme person, Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami. Purusha plus Uttama. Uttama Purusha, Krishna. Okay, I am celebrated in the Vedas also and in the world also. Right? Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Surayaha. That means all the liberated souls, they understand that Krishna is Parabrahman. Right? Brahmano hi Brahmanyo Devaki Putraha says Narayana Parabrahma says that means Parabrahman is Narayana, Krishna is Brahman. Okay, Krishna is Parabrahman. And who understands this truth? Renuka Mataji, you want to read?
Prabhu. Yes, Prabhuji, I'll read.
Yes, please.
Yo mama eham asambuddho janati purushottamam sa sarva bhajanti mama sarva bhavena bharata. Translation: whoever knows me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead without doubting is the knower of everything. He therefore engages himself in full devotional service to me, O son of Bharata.
Yeah. Yes, this is very important. See, those people who understand about the position of Krishna. Yomam evam asammudo janati. Janati means to understand. Asammudho means without any doubt, undoubtedly, completely clear. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then such a person is sarvavit. He is called as knower of everything. Who is the knower of everything? Not the one who is having some material degrees, but the one who understands that Krishna is Purushottama, Krishna is the Supreme Lord. He is the knower of everything, Sarvavit. And what is the symptom of a Sarvavit? Who understands everything. Bhajati mam sarva bhavena. Sarva bhavena bhajati. Means with all his emotion, with all his heart, he loves Krishna. Right? So a pure devotee loves Krishna. With full heart, 100% devoted to Krishna. It's like we see Srila Prabhupada here, how he was so much dedicated to Krishna, right? So such a person is Sarvavit. He knows everything. So it's a symptom of a person who is a Mahatma, right? Who has understood everything, right? And there is one shloka here. Iti guhyatamam shastram idam uktam mayanaga Etad buddhva buddhiman syat kritakrityascha bharata. This is the most confidential part of the Vedic scriptures. O sinless one, and it is now disclosed by me. Whoever understands this will become wise, and his endeavors will know perfection. Right? Whoever understands this most confidential part of the Vedas. So Vedas are meant for giving us some important information. It's called Shabda Pramana, means hearing from the authority. So whatever is given in the Vedas, there is no question of doubt whether a person has written it. No, it's impersonal. It's like not impersonal. It's called Apaurushaya. Apaurushaya means it's not written by a material person. It is free from defects. So the sentences of the Vedas are perfect. Right? And the most secret of the Vedas has just now been revealed by Krishna. Out of his causeless mercy, he says that to know that Krishna is Purushottama, the Supreme Lord, who is behind everything, right? Krishna is the cause of the orbits, to the planets to stay in the orbits. Krishna is the cause even for our respiratory, involuntary breathing. Krishna is the cause of our digestive system. Krishna is cause for everything. And Krishna is beyond the material and this condition and the living entities also. See, Krishna is beyond the fallible and infallible both. Right? So to understand this is, if you understand this, we become wise. Etad buddhva buddhiman syat. Whoever understands this becomes wise, and his endeavors will know perfection. Kritakrityascha bharata. Kritakritya. Kritakritya means what? Kritakritya means perfect. We all want to become Kritakritya. We want that ultimate perfection of life. So if you want to become Kritakritya, we must understand who is Krishna. Right? And we should serve Krishna with Sarva Bhavena Bharata. Sarva Bhavena means full devotional service to Krishna we are supposed to do. Okay. So that's the complete chapter number 15. We have completed chapter number 15. Any questions that we want to discuss? Any questions that you have?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, is there any link between this Purushottama yoga and the Purushottama Mass which we celebrate? And
Yeah, there is a link. The link is Purushottama. The name Purushottama refers to Krishna. Krishna is Purushottama. And this chapter is called Purushottama Yoga because this is a yoga of the Supreme Person. So it has got the name of Krishna itself. Right? And the name of that mass, Malamas, has been given the name as Purushottama Mass. Krishna has given his name to that time, that month. So Purushottama Masa is Adhika Masa. Purushottama Yoga is Bhagavad Gita chapter number 15. Purushottama Kshetra is, what is Purushottama Kshetra? Anybody knows what is Purushottama Kshetra?
Puri Jagannath.
Puri Jagannath. Jagannath Puri is also called as Purushottama Kshetra. Right? So Purushottama means Krishna. Right? That's what it basically means. Yes. And any other questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I
Hare
have a
Krishna.
question.
Yes, please.
My question is, I want to know the meaning of conditioned soul.
Okay, very nice question. That's a good question. See, there are two types of souls. Let's discuss that. It's a very nice question that you asked. The good that you said. Then we will go a little bit detail into this. Okay. We'll talk about conditioned living entity and the liberated living entity. There are two types of living entities. So one is called as conditioned soul and one is called as the liberated soul. So I'll tell you what's the difference between conditioned soul and a liberated soul. A conditioned soul, like all of us, has to struggle in life for making the basic ends meet. That means even for, even if you have to eat a meal also, we need money. Do you agree? We need to pay rent. we need to pay bills, and we need to have a shelter, we need to have good health. Otherwise, we cannot even live. That is a conditioned living entity. But a liberated living entity is beyond all of this disturbances of the material world. So somebody who does not care about the distress or happiness in life, who has crossed that distinction of distress and happiness, distinction of enemy and friend, all these dualities, the liberated souls have crossed. So these liberated souls, they generally stay in the spiritual world, okay? Along with Krishna, they are serving Krishna 24/7. Some of these liberated souls are also present in this material world in the form of acharyas. They have come in the form of acharyas to kindly give us instructions. So for them also, even though they are in the material world, they are not connected with the material life. They are not in material life. So these are like the great souls, right? Like Srila Prabhupada, great disciples of Srila Prabhupada, right? Our Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. Like that, they are liberated souls, you see. So they are beyond this kind of conditioning. Just one example, for example, right? See, for example, if we get a little bit of viral fever, right? So will we feel comfortable to chant? Tell me, anybody has any experience?
No,
Yeah?
not at all.
Not at all. Not at all, right? We don't feel like chanting. We don't feel like doing devotional service. We become very disturbed, is it not? And then we see, for example, Srila Prabhupada, when he was about to leave the body next day morning also, he's joking. He's smiling. He's still telling some jokes. He's telling, and he's dictating Srimad Bhagavatam. He's telling, in the last line, he says, these scientists, they are fools. They don't know. See, what is the meaning of liberation? We should come and see what it means. See, even though my bodily condition is very bad, I'm still very happy. Right? I'm still very happy. I'm not disturbed or distressed that I'm going to die or something. That kind of feeling is not there for a liberated soul, okay? But for a conditioned living entity, we feel very, very disturbed when we see death, or when we get to know that we are about to die. We'll be very, very disturbed, right? So that's a difference, okay? That's a practical difference. Practically, we can see the liberated souls. It's like our Guru Maharaj, there are so many pastimes are there. Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, okay? So, for example, the disciples will be telling that Guru Maharaj, please take rest. Right? He would have completed dialysis and he would be coming, and then he would please take rest. But he will not listen. He will give a class every day. Even now, if you check the Facebook page, just 1 month back, his health was so bad. All of us know. We were following the updates, is it not? It's very bad. But then last 3 Saturdays, Guru Maharaj has given Srimad Bhagavatam class. Check it out on Facebook page. Very happily he's giving Bhagavatam class, right? So this is not possible by a conditioned living entity, you see. So this is actually the purpose of our life is that we want to become a liberated living entity, is it not? Because think about it. If we are a conditioned living entity, that means our happiness is subject to external condition. Yes or no? That means as long as the external conditions are good and favorable, we can be happy. But as soon as the external conditions are not favorable, we become unhappy, peaceless. But the material world is full of disturbance. One day or the other, there will be some kind of disturbance. How is it possible that a person can always be happy without any disturbance? Is it possible in the material world? Yes, Mataji?
No, not at all.
Not possible. Not possible. Not possible. But if we can transcend these 3 modes of material nature, which is possible, Krishna is telling it is very much possible. We just have to take the instruction. That's it. Krishna is telling to Arjuna, it is possible. Arjuna is saying it's very difficult, I can't do it. But Krishna is encouraging and saying it is very much possible, you can do it. It's very much possible. All we have to do is devotional service. if we do proper devotional service, we get liberated without our knowledge itself. We get liberated. Do you know how? There's a nice example for that. Okay. Just like all of us had our lunch, right? Around maybe 2 o'clock, 1:30, 1 o'clock. But by now, all the food got digested, more or less. Am I right? Yes or no?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Did we do anything separately to get that food digested?
No.
No, nothing. Nothing. Krishna consciousness is compared to that. If you simply associate with Krishna, hear about Krishna, chant about Krishna, chant Krishna's names, hear his pastimes, associate with his devotees, eat Krishna prasadam, you won't even know when the liberation has come also. It becomes so natural, just like food getting digested when somebody eats. It's so natural. You don't have to do anything external or anything different than this. Automatic process happens. All we have to do is offenselessly chant the names of Krishna. Aparada shunya hoye leho Krishna nama. Aparada shunya hoye leho Krishna nama means without offense chant. That's it. That is the key. The entire key is in the offenseless chanting of Krishna's names. We should find out what is the meaning of offenseless chanting. Okay. And we should chant like that. And that will just liberate us. Okay. In this very lifetime, we become liberated. And Krishna has explained all the symptoms of a liberated soul. What are the benefits of getting liberated? Everything. It's a greatly beneficial thing. Hare Krishna. Liberation means no suffering. One sentence. Liberation means no more suffering. No more birth and death. That's it. One line. No more
Hare
suffering.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, ma'am.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, can you just explain this verse to me, Prabhuji, please? That is, na tad bhashyate suryo, na shashanko, na pavaka, yadgatva na nivartante, tad dhama paramam mama. Can you just explain me this verse, Prabhuji?
Sure. So the verse translation given by Srila Prabhupada is that supreme abode of mine is not illumined by sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world. So in the spiritual world, there's no sun or moon or fire or electricity. I'll just tell you a joke first before I tell you the explanation, okay? So once there was Prabhupada's disciples were distributing books, Bhagavad Gita, everything. And there were some people who used to distribute books by just saying anything very exaggeratingly. You see? So one devotee came complaining to Srila Prabhupada and he said, Prabhupada, this disciple is lying and giving your books. Is it? What is the lie that he said? There was one old lady who came and said that I have electricity problem in my house. And then he said that you take this book, Bhagavad Gita, it will solve your electricity problem also. Okay. How will Bhagavad Gita solve electricity problem? Prabhupada said, yes, I think he's right. You see, electricity problem also will get solved. Because if she reads Bhagavad Gita, she will go back to Godhead. And if she goes back to Godhead, you see, that spiritual world, it doesn't require light or sun or moon or electricity. You see, right? So that the supreme abode of mine is not illumined by sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. So in simple words, the meaning is that material world is full of darkness. That's why we require sun. So let's understand the design of the material world, okay? The material world is filled with darkness. Therefore, we need light. Therefore, there is night and day. Duality is there here. Day and night. Is it not? In the morning, we have the sun. In the night, we have the moon. So the sun is required to dispel the darkness. Without sun, it will be completely dark. All right? Because Brahma created darkness. Originally, there is no darkness in the spiritual sky. But the material covering Mahatattva is full of darkness, because by design, Brahma created this ignorance and darkness. Originally, it was not there. So since there is darkness, there is a sun that is required. And since we are all living entities, we need a moon for doing cultivation of the food, and we need moon, and we need fire also, right? For cooking and all. We need fire for cooking. We need fire for doing fire sacrifices. We need fire for everything practical, is it not? So, for example, the fire sacrifices that we are doing is in our vehicle, right? Two-wheelers. Your two-wheelers, you see, you are putting petrol, and when you start it, what's happening? There's a lot of smoke that is coming, isn't it? And then that's how you're moving, isn't it? Or even if you take electric also, somewhere, wherever they've created the electricity, there must be some smoke, because there is some fire element. So the heat of the fire is Krishna, and we need fire. But in the spiritual world, there is no need of fire. There is no need of sun. There is no need of moon. Nor there is anything called as electricity there. Nothing is there. But doesn't mean that it is dark. It is full of light. It is full of happiness. It is full of bliss. The spiritual sky, Golok, Brindavana, Vaikunta planets are full of light, because they are self-effulgent. There is, first of all, there is no darkness. And even if there is, the light coming from the Supreme Personality of Godhead is so bright that there's no need of any kind of a light at all. Actually, there's no sun, there's no moon, there's no seasons in the spiritual world. Okay, so that's an interesting
Thank you
point.
so much, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. Hare Krishna. Any more questions? Right, so
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
yes, Mat. Yeah.
This text 8, Prabhuji. Shariram yad avapnoti.
Yes.
The living entity carries his different conceptions of life from one body to another.
Yes.
As the air carries aromas. That means it is the subtle body, right?
Subtle body. Absolutely right. It's a subtle body.
Which goes along with the soul.
Correct.
And this is for transmigration.
Transmigration. Correct.
Okay. Now, when the soul is not getting transmigrated and it has to go directly to Goloka, I think it leaves the subtle body down here, right?
Yes. The subtle body will no longer be there. At least the material subtle body won't be there. Spiritual subtle body may be there, but materially nothing will be there.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you so much.
Yeah, that's very interesting. You see, air and aroma, the relationship is nice, because you see the air, what is the scent of air? Anybody can say? What is the scent of air? Is there any scent for air?
Air is actually odorless.
Yes, air is odorless. But when you put perfume, for some time it appears to be, there's some perfume smell like that, right? But originally it is odorless. Similarly, the material conceptions that we have is because of the material nature. We are having all these conceptions like desire and having a separate feeling that we want to enjoy the world. All this is there, but it is originally, we are all odorless, like pure Sachidananda. It's supposed to be actually in the Brahman conception. But in this material world, we are affected by the external conceptions. That's why we should be very careful, right? So that's why we keep our house very fragrant, right? So what do? You keep all the house very clean, right? You what do you do? All the washed clothes, you'll just put it inside the washing machine. All the cleaning utensils, you'll clean them properly. And all the washed dresses, we put some nice perfume, deodorant or something, and we put a room freshener so that everything is fresh and clean. Nice scent is there. We don't want bad smell. We want to avoid bad smell, right? Similarly, we should avoid bad association in our life. Okay, materialistic association is like that of it's like a bad smell. Okay, it's like a dirty thing. So that's why it's called vasana. Having a lot of this lust is called vasana, because vasana also, another meaning is scent. It's like a bad perfume, right? So and it carries us to a bad body next. We get a bad body based on the bad smell, right? So we want to have a good smell. So we just want to have the perfume, the flowers offered to Krishna. That is a different kind of a smell, different category of smell, right? So we want to be always be surrounded by that kind of smell, the spiritual sky, right? Yeah, that's the thing. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, one last question. Okay.
Yes.
Prabhuji, I have studied both Darwin's theory and we have written exams on exams and then thing. And now, I am reading this Bhagavad Gita and I know a few things. So it becomes very difficult even after knowing all these things, and it is fact, everything we're knowing, it becomes a bit difficult to teach the same old Darwin theory, which is very false. So now how to balance this?
You just have to tell it like a theory. That's it. I mean, it's not a reality. No, Darwin's theory is
But
a
that
theory.
is very false, we know, right? But
It's
Darwin's is
false,
totally
but
false.
it's just one theory that is being studied. So that we studied so many false things. There's so much of falsehood, avidya, right? So that's fine. So we just have to do it as our work. That's it. Actually, there's something very interesting. Darwin's theory says that blacks are inferior to whites. Did you know that? Did you read that in the Darwin's theory?
Yes, it teaches about, it says that we have come from a few things, I know, Prabhuji, not completely inside
Yeah.
only.
Actually, that's what is one of the controversial things about Darwin's theory is that Darwin's theory says that the best race is the European race, and it says that the African race is inferior race. So that's clearly people don't agree to that, right? Obviously, so that's enough for us, right? So, anyways, it's just you just do it like your work, Mataji. That's it. Because see, when you're teaching avidya, you're teaching avidya. So anything material science is avidya only, right? Avidya means nescience. That's it. Spiritual science, Srimad Bhagavatam is vidya, right? Bhagavad Gita is vidya, right? So that's normal. That's fine.
Thank you so much,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Hare
Yes.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Any other questions?
Prabhuji, I got this doubt, Prabhuji.
Yes, please.
Now we are all following parampara of Srila Prabhupada. There are
Yes.
many other paramparas.
Correct.
So they are also as much devoted or maybe even more devoted, we don't know. So all of them are also doing a lot of good service to our people in the society, right? We should not just think that, oh, we are more superior and we are correct. Everybody else is also doing, they're propagating more or less the same, what do you call, doctrine? Do you say that?
See, the thing is, we have to go by the Shastras. We completely go by the Shastras. Correct? The scriptures.
No, they also kind of
That's fine.
follow
But
the
then they're
same.
not mentioned in the scriptures. The scriptures are
Because
saying.
when I watch this,
Yes.
Brahmotsavam and all,
Yes.
that commentary that they are giving, no, Prabhuji, more or less, no, it is compulsory what we are reading in Bhagavad Gita, that only they are commenting.
No, they can, but they may be one of the four sampradayas. Basically, there's a verse in Padma Purana that says that there are four parampara, bona fide paramparas, which can take us back to Godhead. Only four. That is Sri Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, and Brahma Sampradaya, and one more. What's that?
Four Kumaras?
Kumara Sampradaya. Four Sampradayas. These are like four ropes inside the well. So
Okay.
only these four Sampradayas can take us back to Godhead as per the Shastra.
So we are in which one, Prabhuji?
We are in the Brahma Sampradaya. Brahma. Coming from what? Brahma.
Brahma, Rudra,
So in the
Shri.
TTD, they follow that Sri Sampradaya. Sri Sampradaya is also bona fide Sampradaya. So as long as they belong to Brahma Sri Sampradaya, it's fine. It's also authorized Sampradaya as per the Vedas.
Then what about the Shankaracharya and all?
Shankaracharya Sampradaya is not mentioned in the Shastras.
Then we are
There is no mention.
for reading that this no Prabhuji, Jagannath Ashtakam is written by Adi Shankaracharya, no?
Yes, yes. Jagannath Ashtakam is written, but it is not the final conclusion. No, it is one song. We take so many things from Shankaracharya. We sing his songs, etc. But we don't accept the philosophy. Philosophically, there's a
Okay.
problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we actually all of us know while reading, sometimes we get confused, Prabhuji, group itself.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Uh,
Yes, this is the same. Yes.
then we don't know whom to ask.
Prabhuji,
So
in
What is
Srimad
the
Bhagavatam
confusion?
also, we'll be reading that everywhere it is said that Shankaracharya is like, Mayavada philosopher, like that. We shouldn't follow that. But he has given the best of this Bhajagomindam and all, no, which is still it is so much spiritual, right, Prabhuji? We say categorize him as Mayavada philosopher everywhere.
Yes,
But
I tell you,
he's so spiritual.
what happens is Bhajagovindam is fine. Bhajagovindam is fine. Okay, it's correct. It's good. But what happens is, it's like, how do I tell you? The central philosophy of Shankaracharya is not Bhajagovindam. Okay. If you can ask them itself, like for example, if you ask them, what is the final philosophy? In which book does Shankaracharya write his philosophy? The central philosophy of Shankaracharya is in his Bhashya of Brahma Sutra called Sharirika Bhashya. Okay, Sharirika Bhashya is Brahma Sutra, Vedanta Sutra, Bhashya he has written. Okay, in that he has written that the absolute truth is impersonal. Absolute truth is not person. It is impersonal.
Prabhuji,
Okay.
but I was read somewhere, but Adi Shankaracharya was a very devotee of Krishna. He was praying Krishna, Prabhuji.
He was praying Krishna. That is correct. Some people say that he was a covered devotee. Covered means covering means like externally
not
acting
an
like
overt.
an impersonal. Yeah, not outwardly, externally acting like a jnani, but internally he was a great devotee. A lot of people say that. Even
His
It is
mother
there
also
in Srimad
wanted to.
Bhagavatam only, Prabhuji. It is there in Srimad Bhagavatam only. Somewhere I've read where Adi Shankaracharya was a devotee of Krishna and he was praying Krishna. But outside he was like telling that he was to merge with the impersonal Brahman and all that big tattva philosophy. So that is what we were confused, Prabhuji, on that day. Like, he's presented so much spiritual thing, but what is this confusion? So
see, the confusion is like this. Okay, the actual thing is the Chaitanya Charitamrita. The answer comes that when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he discusses with the sannyasis of the what is that? Kashi. In the Banaras, in the Kashi, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is discussing with the sannyasis. At that point of time, there is a debate that happens between the Shankaracharya, Mayavadi sannyasis and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's a very nice debate. Maybe we should do a Bhakti Ladder meetup on that discussion. Maybe next time I'll do that. It will be very interesting. But in a conclusion, they ask him, what is your understanding of the Vedanta Sutras? And then he starts to present and they will accept it. They say that this is correct. Whatever you're saying is perfect. Then they ask a question, then why did Shankaracharya tell that everything is impersonal? When he knew it, that Krishna is a supreme personality of Godhead, but still he said that like this, why? Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives a very wonderful explanation. He says that Shankaracharya is Lord Shiva himself. Shankaracharya is Lord Shiva himself. Actually, it has happened that in the Padma Purana, we see there's a conversation between Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu, where Lord Vishnu instructs Lord Shiva to cause confusion in Kali Yuga. He says, in Kali Yuga, you teach a philosophy which will make people away from me. Because turning to Krishna means liberation. If everything is so easy in Kali Yuga, then we don't call it Kali Yuga. It should not be easy. It should be difficult. And confuse the demoniac people, he says that. Those people who are not pure at heart, confuse them. Then Lord Shiva tells to Parvati Devi that in Kali Yuga, I will be born as a Brahmana. And I will do such a word jugglery, such a presentation of scholarship in such a strong way that I'll convince everybody that God is not a person. And I will just make everybody away from Lord Vishnu, because it's a very difficult service that I have got, but I have to do it because Lord has ordered me. In that he says, Mayavadam Asat Shastram, means Mayavada is Asat Shastra, means it's wrong. He says that in that I will propose that the conditioned living entity is equal to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And like that, he will spread the confusion. So actually, a lot of people in India are also fully convinced that conditioned living entity is equal to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because of the powerful word jugglery of Shankaracharya, because he is Lord Shiva himself. But it takes a little bit of common sense for us to understand that we are not on the equal platform of Krishna. Because in the just now we discussed, Krishna said there is a Kshara and Akshara, two type of people, conditioned living entity and liberated living entity. And Krishna said, Atos, he is saying that I am beyond both of them. He is beyond liberated and conditioned. He is not saying I am equal to liberated. Liberated are same as me. No. Right? So one simple example I'll tell you, you'll understand very clearly. Just imagine a king is sitting on the throne and a small fly, okay, house fly comes and sits on the throne. They are both sitting on the throne. Do you call the housefly also as king because it is sitting on the throne? Yes or no? Yes?
No, it is not possible.
It's not possible. It's a housefly. Housefly, bedbug also can be on the throne. That does not make the bedbug equal to the king. Similarly, living entity and Krishna, we are on the same platform. Mamaivamsho jivabhute jivaloka sanatanaha. We are part and parcel of Krishna. We do not have birth. Krishna does not have birth. And living entity does not die. Krishna also does not die. There's no birth or death for living entity nor for Krishna. But the difference is that of the king and a housefly. The king, Krishna, he is Maya Adhisha. He is the controller of Maya. We are Maya Tita. Maya Atita. That means we are under the spell of Maya. This is such a simple thing to understand actually. Such a simple common sense, isn't it? See, tell me something. If we don't go to work, for earning food, can we live? Tell me. Yes?
Not possible.
Not possible. We cannot live even without eating food also. This is our condition. Right? This is our condition. How can we be equal to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is Purushottama? Right? This is simple thing. Right? So this is what, what has happened is Shankaracharya, who is Lord Shiva himself, because of the instructions of Lord Vishnu, he very powerfully banged the message that, no, you are equal to Narayana. Arjuna is equal to Krishna. How is it possible? Arjuna is equal to Krishna. If Arjuna is equal to Krishna, then why does he need Krishna? He himself can sit down and meditate and find out what is the answer. Right? Krishna is Krishna, Arjuna is Arjuna.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
Prabhuji, one question. Shankaracharya's main aim was to spread Hinduism, because that Hindu religion was going down, I read somewhere. So his main purpose was the spreading of Hinduism to the people.
See, at that point of time, that was required. See, one thing is, at that point of time, that was required. So all these acharyas are incrementally giving knowledge. See, if you see like that, Buddha also is telling something nice. There's some nice, don't you think, why we should say only Hinduism, why not Buddhism? Tell me. Is not Buddhism nice?
It's nice, Prabhuji, but it is more like atheistic philosophy, Prabhuji.
Atheistic philosophy. atheism, right? But actually there's some nice things in Buddhism also, right? There's so many nice things like ahimsa and being very peaceful, not having desire, meditation, monastery, monastic system. So many nice things are there that Buddha has taught. So many nice things. Buddhist mindful meditation, everybody, all the teachers, they take from Buddhist teachings, right? But then the point is, Buddhism rejects Vedas, number one. Buddhism, they reject Atma, that they don't agree that there is a soul. They say that there is only body. There is no soul within. Buddhism, they reject God. They say there is no God. So Shankaracharya had come and he established the Vedas, the path of the Vedas. And he said their Vedas are there and there is a spirit soul. He established the existence of spirit soul. Then progressively, afterwards, Ramanujacharya has come and he said, yes, there is spirit soul. Vedas are the supreme authority. And there is super soul also. And there is a difference between super soul and the living entity. Madhvacharya further extended it. And he gave the Dvaita philosophy. And he explained very clearly that no two things can be equal. No two things are equal. Just think about it. Simple philosophy. Dvaita means there are no two things that can be equal. Take anything in your body. There will be something different. No two fingers are the same. Left hand is not same as the right hand. Right? There will be some difference. Something will be there. Some difference will be there. Right? So there's absolutely, you cannot say that there are two things which are same. If there are two things, there are two things. That's it. There's no difference. There's difference always. That is Madhvacharya's philosophy. And very clearly Krishna, and he says that it's impossible. Completely there is difference between Krishna and living entities. 100% difference is there, he said. And then came Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He taught Achintya Bheda Abheda. This is very nice balance between oneness and difference. He said that qualitatively the soul is same as Supreme Personality of Godhead. Qualitatively. Quantitatively different. Quantitatively different. Just like I told you, example, a housefly is also sitting on a throne. King is also sitting on the throne. Both of them are on the same platform. But housefly is a housefly, king is a king. Right? So we are because we are so small, we are tiny, we are like a drop in the ocean, we are part and parcel of Krishna. We are subject to Maya. We are subject to Maya. But Krishna is beyond Maya. He's the controller of Maya. Okay? So that's what now Arjuna asks that how are you telling that you told this knowledge to sun god? Anybody remembers what was the answer Krishna said?
Yes, we have been there in all the lives together, but you forgot, and I will not forget.
Yes.
You were also there that time.
That's the difference. You see, got the difference? Simple.
We are conditioned.
He said, Arjuna said, see, I gave this knowledge to the sun god, and bahuni me vyatitani janmani tavacharjuna. We both have taken so many different lives. But I remember all my lives. You don't remember. That's it. This is the difference between God and living entity. Got it? We forget. We forget our mission. We forget our life. We forget everything. We forget knowledge. Everything is gone. I shared a video, right? Garbhastuti. There's a baby in the womb of a mother. We are forced to go inside the womb of a mother, and then we are praying to Krishna that, oh my dear Krishna, please protect me. Give me knowledge. This lifetime I will nicely worship you and go back to Godhead. Right? Krishna does not worship like that in the womb of Devaki. Getting it? He does not worship. Whom will he worship? He is the Supreme Lord. We have to chant the names of Krishna to get liberation. Whose names will Krishna chant? Yeah. So he comes again as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to chant the names of Krishna to enjoy what is the love of Krishna he comes to enjoy. So whatever he does is Leela. Okay, whatever we do is not Leela. Understand? It's not Leela. So that's the difference. Okay, Krishna is does the pastimes, and we hear that pastime, and simply by hearing those pastimes, we become liberated. And he is the source of liberation. He's the Mukunda. He's the source of liberation. Okay, it's not that Krishna needs liberation. Krishna doesn't need liberation. He's the giver of liberation. Got it? Is that clear? So this is the problem actually. Otherwise, Shankaracharya is a very great Acharya. He has done an extraordinary feat of saving Hinduism out of the clutches of Buddhism. And he established the truth to certain extent. To certain extent. That is, it is one aspect of Brahman. So for example, once Srila Prabhupada was asked, and Prabhupada said, Shankaracharya, he said the same thing about Krishna, but he stressed on the impersonal factor of Krishna. Krishna is both personal and impersonal, both, isn't it? He stressed on impersonal. That's it. That's the only thing. But it is one conception called Brahman. The conception is called Brahman. Got it? Brahman. There is two more. What is that? Anybody can say? Absolute truth can be understood.
Paramatma and Bhagavan.
Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. So the Jnanis are stressing on Brahman. They say impersonal is the final. Paramatma, yogis are saying super soul, meditating on super soul. The last word of absolute truth is
Bhagavan.
Bhagavan. Bhagavan. That is what is the philosophy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaniti Sabjate. So we are stressing on the Bhagavan aspect. If you know Bhagavan, you naturally know Paramatma also, you know Brahman also. It's like that. But if you know only Brahman, you don't know Paramatma, you don't know Bhagavan. So that is partial knowledge which has been given. This is complete knowledge. Is that clear? This is complete knowledge. Okay?
So Prabhuji, all these, that means they come under Rudra Sampradaya?
No, they don't come under Rudra Sampradaya. If they actually came under Rudra Sampradaya, it would have been nice because it is an authorized bona fide Sampradaya. Rudra Sampradaya is not Mayavad. Mayavad says that there is absolutely no difference between Supreme Lord and a living entity, which is a very absurd statement to say, right?
So where do they come?
That
It is,
They don't come under
Kanchi Kamakoti, all those people.
Anyway, they don't come
They
under
are
the
just
authorized.
categorized as Mayavada philosophers, that's
That's
all.
it. They are not
And
under
we
the
shouldn't
four
follow.
bona fide. They are not under
What
the
about
four.
our Kanchi Kamakoti and
All of them, they are all belonging to Advaita Sampradaya, and Advaita Sampradaya is not mentioned in the scriptures at all.
who is the
No mention.
Periyar Guru?
Yes, Periyar, Periyar, Periyava or Periyar?
Periyavar.
Periyar is not
Mahaperiva.
a devotee at all.
Maha
He's a
Periyavar.
communist.
Periyava,
Periyar is a
Periyava
communist.
is a Kanchi Shankaracharya. He belongs to the Advaita Sampradaya. Advaita Sampradaya is Shankara Sampradaya. Shankaracharya Sampradaya is not among the four. It's not Rudra Sampradaya, it's not Kumara, it's not Sri Sampradaya, it's not Brahma Sampradaya. It is called Apasampradaya. Apasampradaya means it's some deviant Sampradaya. That's it. It's not mentioned.
Like Adi Shankaracharya.
Yeah, it's an Apasampradaya. It's not mentioned in the scriptures, and the conclusions are deviant. That's the thing.
Prabhuji, I have seen in many households, Iyengas and Ayers also, for keeping like Kanchi Mahaperiva pictures and following. What is that sampradaya and why is he so, followed?
Advaita only.
Prabhuji?
I told you, no? Kanchi Shankaracharya belongs to the Advaita philosophy. Advaita philosophy. Shankaracharya philosophy.
Advaita means Madhvacharya established Advaita.
No.
Advaita.
Shankaracharya.
No. Shankaracharya
Prabhuji,
established Advaita.
Okay,
Advaita.
sorry.
Yes.
Prabhuji,
Madhvacharya
that
established
name,
Dvaita.
Prabhuji,
Yes.
one day you just nicely show us one chart, Prabhuji.
Yes, maybe I will go deep into this in another Bhakti Ladder meetup session. We will discuss this. Okay, we will discuss these four. We will discuss the differences between Advaita and this one,
Dvaita.
Dvaita Sampradayas. What's the difference between?
That Prabhuji, that Shankaracharya means what it is, Aham Brahmasmi.
Yes.
By many religions, they follow that. Many religions, even in Christianity, even in Buddhism, they follow that Aham Brahmasmi. Mainly what Shankaracharya taught.
Aham Brahmasmi is a word from Upanishads. It's a word from Upanishads. It can be interpreted differently by different acharyas. Right? Different interpretation. So, for example, the interpretation of Mayavadis or the Advaitins is that Aham Brahmasmi means I am Brahman, Supreme Brahman. I am Supreme Brahman. So the interpretation of the theistic schools, or what do you say, the Krishna conscious school, is that Aham Brahmasmi means I am Brahman, but I am the living entity Brahman. There are varieties of Brahman. We believe in variety. You see, there is a variety means just like ice cream, there is variety in the scoop ice cream. The 3 balls you get. Cassata ice cream. There is chocolate ice cream. There is mango ice cream. There is vanilla ice cream. There is a difference. Correct? So similarly, in Brahman, there are 3 varieties. Can anybody tell what are the varieties? The first variety is material world. Material nature is also called as Brahman. In the 14th chapter, Krishna says, no, Mahat Brahma. Dharayami. Let me just look for that shloka. So,
How much is there in
so
Bhagavad?
yeah, I'll tell you. Yeah, in the 14th verse, yeah, Mamayonir Mahat Brahma Tasmin Garbham Dadamiyaham Sambhava Sarvabhutanam Tato Bhavati Bharata. The total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the birth of all living beings, O son of Bharata. So he is referring to the material nature also as Brahman, Krishna. Krishna is telling material nature also as Brahman. Why? Because where are we getting the body from? Tell me.
Material nature.
Material nature. So it appears as if material nature is only giving us birth. Yes? That means we are born from material nature. It appears like that. So therefore we are calling material nature also as Brahman. But beyond the material nature, there is another energy. What is that energy? 7th chapter Krishna said. Anybody can remember? After telling about the expansion of Bahiranga Shakti of Krishna, he tells, no.
I'm the seed giving father.
No, not that. Even you're jumping directly to that. First he said, I am the 7 elements, right? So he's telling that all the earth, water, fire.
Bhumi, Apo, Nalo,
Bhumi, Apo, Nalo, Vayu, Kamano, Buddhirevacha, Ahankara, Iti, Yamme, Bhinna, Prakriti, Rashtada. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego all together constitute my separated material energy. It's a variety number 1, ice cream number 1. How many of you like ice creams? Here is ice cream number 1. Okay, that is the material nature. That is what we are calling as Brahman. Now, next sloka 7.5, he is telling, Apareyam itastvanyam prakritim viddhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho yayedam dharyate jagat. Besides these, there is another superior energy of mine which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. What does that mean?
That is the living entity, Prabhuji.
So he said no superior.
Jivatma.
Jivatma. So Krishna is telling no superior to the material nature? Yes or no?
Yes.
So that means he is making distinction between material nature, Brahman, and Jiva Brahman. So Aham Brahmasmi means I am living entity. And there is another Brahman. What is that Brahman?
Supreme.
Parabrahman.
Parabrahman.
You see, and then he says, now in the verse number 6, 7.6, he is telling about the third one. Ice cream number 1, ice cream number 2, ice cream number 3. Ice cream number 1, I said 7.5, material nature. Ice cream number 2 is living entities. Ask number 3. Etad yonini bhutani sarvani iti upadharaya aham krishnasya jagataha prabhava pralayas All the created beings have their source in these two natures. All that is material and all that is spiritual in this world, know for certain that I am both the origin and the dissolution. So what did he say right now? Of all the created beings, they have source in these two nature. The first two things, material nature, living entity. And of all that is material and spiritual in the world, know for certain that I am both the origin and dissolution. What does that mean? Third category.
Supreme Brahman.
Supreme Brahman.
Parabrahman.
Yes. When we say Aham Brahmasmi, we are not saying I am material nature. No. I am not saying I am material nature. I am not material nature. When I say Aham Brahmasmi, I am not saying I am Krishna. I am Param Brahmasmi. No, I am not saying I am Krishna. I am not the creator of the universe, not the destroyer of the universe, or the maintainer of the living entities. Aham Brahmasmi, I am living entity, part and parcel of Krishna. Clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
That's what it
For
means.
now. For now.
Yeah. That's what Srila Prabhupada Pranam Mantra, it says, Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine. So Nirvishesha Vada means no variety. So the Mayavadis are saying there is no variety in the supreme absolute truth. In the spiritual world, there is no variety. There is just one, just one. Nothing is there. One. But we are saying it's not like that. The spiritual world is a reflection of the material world, and it is full of variety. So if our material world has 84 lakh species of life, why won't spiritual world have 84 lakh species of life? It will have more. It is a spiritual variety will be there. Variety is the essence of life. Spiritual doesn't mean no variety. It's not nirvishesha. Everything is there. Whatever we are enjoying here, it is there, but incorrect it is there. It is perverted reflection that we are here. Okay? Hare Krishna. So let's stop here. Thank you very much. Very insightful questions. Maybe we will cover these things in coming up.